maybe we should begin with how the field itself began, which, as you put it, came with Aristotle. So what were his specific contributions that made you think of him as the father of it all?
Mm. Yeah, so many of the questions that we face today. I mean, even, so once a week we meet for the certificate program, we meet for a live webinar. Even today I had a question about this. He made a very clear distinction between pleasure and happiness. So he defined what we call happiness today, which is, maybe more flourishing. He talks about eudaimonia. And, eudaimonia is not pleasure. And he explicitly makes the distinction between pleasure and flourishing. So many people today, when they talk about happiness, talk about it in the context of a mood. I was so happy having this ice cream. I was so happy being on the beach. That's not happiness as far as I'm concerned. And again, each to his or her own in terms of definitions. But that's pleasure. That's fun. Happiness is much deeper than that, and that is what Aristotle focused on. And consequently, because of that definition, he also understands happiness, the antecedents of happiness, as very different than what, I guess conventional wisdom would have us believe. He talks about it as, the antecedents being relationships, for example, friendship. And we know today, and you may have come across the Harvard study on happiness, where they followed people for 75 years, by now 85 years, and they found that the most important element of a happy life and of a healthy life, connection between mind and body, happy and healthy life, relationships. Whether it's romantic relationships or work relationships, or it can be friendship. It actually doesn't matter what kind of relationships, as long as there are deep, supportive relationships. Well, Aristotle talked about it 2,500 plus years ago. He talked about the importance of contemplation. Now, when I talk about happiness, one of the elements that I talk about is intellectual well-being, which is almost completely absent from discussion of happiness. Why? Because happiness is considered an emotion. Yeah, it's also an emotion, but that's, again, just part of it. So Aristotle had a much more holistic, holistic view of the good life, where he incorporated generosity, giving, kindness. He spent a lot of time talking about politics and how we are relative to other people. As important elements of happiness. And this is a kind of scholarship we need today. And again, scholarship not as an end in itself. Scholarship as a means towards an end, which is another Aristotelian focus. What is how do you actually use this for the purpose of bettering your life? This is, what the Greeks in general, not just Aristotle, were focused on, the good life. And unashamedly so.